Hi everyone, and welcome to my yoga channel, Tom Yoga Om. Today we are going to be working on stretching into our bodies after having taken a break from yoga. How many times in your practice, whether you're first starting out doing yoga or whether you've been doing it for years, have you found yourself not making the time or not having the time to do a yoga practice? And then you feel a little bit intimidated to come back. Maybe you are worried that your body is not as flexible or as strong as it used to be. Well, the best way to get back into it is just to start, and so that is what this class is about. I hope that by the end of it you feel great, your body feels open and a little bit stronger, and that you feel you can move forward into a more regular practice. And if you can't, or if you don't feel like it, that is okay too. Alrighty, let's get to it. To begin with, just take a comfortable seat in whatever position suits you, and make sure that your legs and your hips are just grounded down in the best way possible for your body. And take your hands onto your knees or into your lap or even at heart center, and just ground down into the floor. Relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and just to drop away from our day and to bring ourselves onto our mat, both physically and mentally. We're going to take 5 deep breaths in and out. So before we begin, soften as many of your body's muscles as you can while keeping your spine nice and tall. And just take a deep breath in through your nose and a long exhale out of your mouth. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath like that. And last one, really feel your belly and your chest rise out. Good, and now for those 5 deep inhales and exhales, keep your breath flowing through your nostrils. And just follow your breath as it travels in and out. Just notice which parts of your body you can soften. Three more breaths. And last one. Good, and when you're ready, you can just blink your eyes open, wriggle your fingers and your toes. And to begin with, to bring ourselves into our practice again, we are going to start in a standing position. So just make your way up to the top of your mat. And bring your feet hip distance apart. Start by lifting the toes and spreading them out, and then grounding them down into the floor. See if you can bring the weight evenly into your feet. And then from here, what I'd like you to do is bring your hands to heart center and just take a deep breath in and out with me. As you exhale, feel your body hang a little heavier, and again extend up through your spine as you do so. Good, and then on your next breath in, take a big breath in and reach your arms all the way up. And just keep them up, keep them expanding. I've got a small roof here, so I can't reach all the way up. My hands can't be seen in this space, but that's okay. Just reach up as high as you can and keep breathing. So 2 more deep breaths here. Stretching up through the side body, stretching up through the arms, stretching up maybe even up through the hips as you lift this space, as you lift your arms upwards. 1 more. Good, and then on your next breath in, just take a full inhale. And as you exhale, bring your hands down through your heart center and bend your knees and just come into a halfway lift. So keep those knees bent to begin with. Take your hands onto your thighs and just extend out through the top of your neck. Keep the weight of your feet nice and evenly between the heels and the toes. And think of extending out through the head as you reach your hips back. Take 2 more breaths. And last one. Good, and now on this breath, take a big breath in, and then with a lot of generosity in the bend of your knees, just fold yourself down. Maybe bring your hands onto the floor or onto your legs, whatever you'd like, and let your head hang here. And you want to try and make sure that your hamstrings aren't straining. So if you haven't done yoga for a while, it's just nice to be gentle, especially for this first round, and trust that you'll open up. Your body will start to relax and loosen. And just let your head hang, let your arms hang, and start to take some deep breaths into the back. Two more. And last one, notice what you're working with today. Maybe you're starting to notice how your body is different and feels different from what it was like when you last did yoga. So just be the observer of that. And then plant your hands down onto the floor, step back into a plank. And let's just hold here for 3 breaths as well. So we're just going to take this first round of sun salutations nice and slow. Lift the space between your shoulders upwards towards the ceiling or the sky, and try to drive your heels back and engage your thigh muscles. Keeping your core nice and strong. And one more big breath in and out here. And as you exhale, you could either drop your knees to the floor or move your shoulders forward beyond your wrists and lower yourself down into a chaturanga before bringing yourself down onto your mat. And then take your hands underneath your shoulders, press your feet into the floor, inhale, lift your chest up and squeeze your shoulder blades together, drive your elbows down. Good, try to relax in that lower back. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Exhale to lower. Tuck your toes under, power up into a plank or a tabletop. And on your exhale, bend your knees and come back to down dog. Good, and start to breathe into the backs of your legs and take your attention there as you walk your down dog, left to right. And then take a big breath in and lift your heels up off the floor. And as you exhale, ground your heels down, send your hips back and hold there. Good. Take a big breath in, breathing into the back of your legs. Sending your hips back, stretching your back as you do so. And as you exhale, step your way forward to the top of your mat into your forward fold. Inhale into your halfway lift. As you exhale again with a generous bend in the knees, fold yourself down. And then inhale, plant your feet down into the floor and sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale them down through to your heart center. Good, now we're going to flow with 2 more rounds of that sun salutation A to warm our bodies up and to get us ready for the rest of the class. So on your next breath in, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold yourself all the way down. Bend those knees, relax your lower back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down. Plant your hands onto the mat, step back into your plank, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, lower yourself down, all the way onto your belly. Inhale for your cobra. Relax your lower back, squeeze those shoulders together, draw the elbows down, and exhale, roll your spine onto the floor. Inhaling up into a plank or a tabletop. And exhale back, downward facing dog. On that inhale, reach those hips back and reach those heels down, stretching your back. And as you exhale, step forward to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold yourself down. And then ground into the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And exhale your hands down through to your heart center. 1 more like this, 1 more round. Breathing in, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant those hands. Step back as you breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank or tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. On that breath in, send those hips back and the heels down, breathing in. And as you exhale, forward fold. Step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Ground those heels, send yourself all the way up, breathing in. And exhale your hands through to your heart center. Let's take a moment to catch your breath and to notice how your body's starting to feel. As you exhale, try to soften the muscles around your spine while lengthening your spine upwards. And we do that by imagining that we're reaching up through the top of the head. And exhale to relax. Just take one more round of breath here. And what we're going to do next is sun salutation bees. So they're a little bit harder. We're going to take that second sun salutation version slow for the very first round. And then we're going to speed it up and start to really work into the muscles of the body and to develop that flexibility and strength again. Okay, when you're ready, step to the top of your mat and inhale, sweep your arms by your sides and up to the ceiling. And at the same time, just lower your hips back, bring the weight into your heels. And instead of having your body nice and vertical, tilt it forward a bit and reach your arms up. Try and bring your arms in alignment with your ears. And just breathe here. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, sink a little deeper. And take your final breath here. So inhaling, reaching forward with those arms sitting deep. And exhale, fold forward. Release your back as you do so. And just feel your back stretching down. Let's just hold here for a little longer. Release through the shoulders and the neck. And imagine that gravity is lengthening your spine down and stretching it out. One more breath here. And then take your hands onto your thighs. Inhale, come into that halfway lift. And when I haven't warmed up or haven't done yoga in a long time, I like to bend my knees here because I get the sensation that my hips are reaching back a little further. And reach out through the top of your head. And just take one more round of breath here. And as you exhale, plant your hands onto the floor, step back into your plank, and lower yourself all the way down. Good. This time, plant your feet into the floor. As you breathe in, try to scoop your chest forward and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and lift up a little higher. And then exhale, roll down. Good. Power up into a plank or a tabletop. And as you exhale, come back to down dog. On that first breath in, inhale, send your hips back. And exhale, ground your heels down. Good. Next breath in, we're going to lift the left leg up and just straighten the leg directly behind us, getting our arms, our torso, our waist, and our heel in one nice long line. I should have said leg. You get it. So we don't need to lift all the way up and try to do the splits here. We're just trying to bring our body into one nice long line. Press your heel back behind you rather than the toes. Breathing. And then take a big breath in. And as you exhale, send that left foot to the top of your mat. Nice. Just bring your right heel down onto the floor with your right toes pointed out at 45 degrees. And we're going to power down into that left foot. Sweep our arms up and come into our warrior one. Good. Take your left hand onto your left hip. And from here, draw your right arm out in front of you. And what I'd like you to do is power down into your feet and then just turn that right hand that's out in front of you over to the left side. Just feel that as you do so, your right hip comes forward with you. I learned this from Travis Scott. No, that's the rapper. Travis Elliott, the yoga teacher. That'd be cool if I learned it from a rapper. No, Travis Elliott's got a great class where he uses this technique. I really enjoy it, and so I'm passing it on to you today. So we're moving our right hand out in front of us so as to draw our right hip further to the left, or further forward rather. And you feel that stretch in your right thigh. Just hold there, sweep your arms up, take a big breath in. Stretch up through the side body and exhale, float your hands forward and down. Step back into your plank, take a big breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale for your up dog or your cobra. And exhale, come back into your down dog. Good. Inhale, send your hips back. Exhale, ground your left heel down. Draw your right leg up, breathing in. Press the heel back behind you. Let's take 2 deep breaths here and try and find that nice long line all the way from the hands to the torso, to the hips, to the leg. And as you exhale, step the right foot forward. Good. And from here, I'm going to drop that left heel to the floor, left toes pointing out at 45 degrees. Sweep our arms up, breathing in. And as you exhale, right hand comes onto the hip. Left arm out in front of us. And move that left hand over to the right side. Feel the stretch in that left hip. Bring both arms up, take 2 breaths. Stretching here, grounding down into that left foot. Feeling that opening in the left hip. And then exhaling, floating everything down. Step back into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for your cobra or your up dog. And exhale for your downward facing dog. Inhale, send your hips back. And exhale, step your feet forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale to everyone's favorite chair pose. And exhale, come to standing. We're going to do one more variation of that. It's a nice way to heat up your body, to get your muscles stretched. Let's get to it. It's going to be faster. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Stretch your spine. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back as you breathe in. And as you exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. One nice long line. Exhale, step the foot forward. Plant your right foot to the floor. Inhale, sweep up and drive that right hip forward. Exhale, float the hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, chaturanga to up dog to cobra. Your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, send those arms up. Left hip forward. Exhale, float your hands down. Step back to plank, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, send the heels and the hips up. And as you exhale, step forward to the top of your mat and fold yourself down. Inhale, chair pose. And exhale, hands through to heart center. Good. Come to the top of your mat, ground down into your feet, and just take a moment to feel the space underneath you and to recollect your breath. And notice how your body feels. Notice how the physical body feels for you. So do you have as much strength as you feel that you used to have? Or flexibility? Or do you feel less strong or more strong? Less flexible or more flexible? One more breath here. Good, and then blink your eyes open. And just take a deep inhale, reach your arms up. My arms are wide because I don't have that space. And as you exhale, just bring your hands through to your heart center, bend your knees, and fold yourself into a halfway lift. Good. Now from here, what I'd like you to do is just take a big breath in, lengthen out through the top of your head. I'm just going to wind this class down, but before we do so, there are a couple more kind of passive stretches I want you to get into because they feel really nice for the whole body. Alrighty, so just come into this halfway lift, and again, bend those knees, bring the weight into the heels first. As you do that, you'll notice that your hips kind of feel like they're reaching back a little more. And then think of lengthening and reaching out through the top of your head, almost like you're trying to head a football or a soccer ball, depending on where you're from. As you exhale, bend those knees and fold all the way down. And I want you to bend them so much so that you don't feel any stretch in your legs. Bring your hands down onto the floor. Let your head relax. Let your arms relax, and then take your hands onto your elbows. And start to feel the weight of your torso drawing downwards towards the mat. And just sway your arms and your torso from side to side. That's it. Take one more breath here. Do a couple of yeses and nos with your head. Make sure that your upper body, around your head, your shoulders, your neck, is all nice and relaxed. And then from here, release your hands to the floor and take your hands to the backs of your calves and kind of wrap your elbows onto your legs. Good. From here, we're going to inhale up into a bit of a halfway lift, so just lifting up a little bit. And as you exhale, I want you to just fold your torso down, keep your legs as straight or as bent as they are, and just drive your torso down using the strength of your arms wrapped around your legs. Take a big breath here. And as you exhale, send your hips up. So try and reach your hips up to the ceiling. Keep your head and your shoulders relaxed. Take one more big breath in. Good. And then from here, bring your hands onto the floor. Step your feet a little wider and point your toes out. Come down into a yogi squat. Nice. It should feel quite nice for those thighs after being forward folded for so long. Take your hands through to your heart center and just bring your arms onto the insides of your legs. Let's take a couple of rounds of breath here. Stretching into the hips as you press your legs outwards, and also letting the lower back soften downwards. So really try to relax your hips and all the muscles around them. Let's take one more big breath in here and a long breath out. Good. And then we're going to bring our right hand down onto the floor. We're going to take our left hand onto our left knee. We're just going to twist over towards the left side, nice and gentle. One more here. And then come back to a neutral position, just change sides. So bring your left hand onto the floor, your right hand onto your right knee, twist over to the right side. Nothing too extreme, just nice and gentle. One more breath. And then come back to a neutral position. And from here, we're going to drop our hips down to the floor. Bring our arms back behind us, come into an M shape. Just drop your knees from left to right, like so. And then scoot your hips towards your heels. Come all the way onto your back. And we've got two more postures to do here. First one we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands towards our heels, making sure that our fingertips can touch our heels. And then from there, walk your feet just a little further forward, a couple of centimeters. Squeeze your glutes and roll your hips up off the floor. Come into a bridge pose. Keep those glutes squeezing. Draw the knees towards one another. And take 3 breaths here, breathing deep into your belly and into your chest. And exhaling, pressing down into your hands and your legs to lift yourself up higher. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good, and then take a big breath in. And as you exhale, roll your spine down onto the ground. Nice and slow. Good. Last stretch here, we're going to bring our knees into our chest. Take our right ankle onto our left knee. We don't really stretch into the side of our leg very often, the side of our hip, so that's what we're doing here. Loop your hands around your left leg and just draw it in. Take 2 breaths. You can deepen the stretch by pressing your right arm into your right knee. One more. And when you're ready, just change sides. Noticing how you feel, how your body feels right now. And then gently bring your feet down onto the floor. One last little mini stretch here. Reach your arms and your legs in both directions. And as you exhale, bring your knees onto your chest. Curl your chin up off the floor. And then really gently bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. Alrighty, let's just take 10 final breaths here. 10 breaths can sometimes seem like a lot, and I'm going to talk you through it. It'll be over in under 1.5 minutes. So just take your time to kind of bring yourself to a space that you're comfortably seated, where you're comfortably seated, and bring your hands onto your knees. Plant your feet and your hips down as much as you can, and then take a big breath into your belly and into your chest. And as you exhale, just start to soften your body again whilst reaching out through the top of your head. Just find a flow to your breath, breathing through the nostrils. Eight more breaths here. And as you sit here and as you breathe, see if you can notice the weight of your legs and your arms and hips and shoulders. Weight of your torso, the space around your belly. Weight of your head and your neck. And do a bit of a body scan of your physical body. Notice if there's any place that needs a little more attention. Maybe it's holding some tightness or some tension and it needs to relax. Over the next few breaths, just feel that space soften. We've got 2 more breaths here. Just notice how your whole body is feeling all at once. And notice where your mind goes when you think about that. If you need a little longer just to observe the physical and the mental space, then please stay here. Otherwise, you can open your eyes. And I'd just like to say that, sometimes we, like in our lives with everything else that we face, life can flow up and down. Sometimes things are pretty good, and sometimes things can be pretty bad, and sometimes they're in the middle. And what yoga aims to kind of teach us is that the ebbs and flows in our life are naturally occurring patterns, and we can kind of help ease the burden of them by monitoring and becoming aware of how our body responds when we're in a high or when we're in a low. And by doing so, the impacts of each are lessened. And so, for example, in this class, you might be finding, if you're new to yoga, that it feels a little bit uncomfortable, that your body maybe gets really hot easily or sweaty easily. Or if you've taken a break, maybe you're not as flexible or as strong as you used to be. And if that's the case for you, I just want you to know that that's totally okay, and it's just a part of that ebb and that flow. And through persistence and determination and being kind to yourself, you'll learn not to power through and get to where you want to go, like is the mentality of a lot of things right now, a lot of philosophies right now, but you'll learn to kind of ease into those flows of life and learn how to thrive within them. So I hope that this has been a takeaway from today, that your body is maybe starting to feel what it needs to feel, and you're becoming aware of where you sit on that journey, and hopefully that you feel a little bit okay with that. I hope to see you again, and please subscribe and like the channel or the video, because it helps the page grow. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Namaste.